Next up, we have Margaret Lovejoy. Margaret Lovejoy is the executive director and founder of the Family Place. Ms. Lovejoy's education includes a doctorate of educational leadership from the University of St. Thomas. Margaret attributes her love of writing to her love of reading. Currently, she is working on a trilogy specifically focused on issues sustained by children who are or have been homeless. Please welcome Margaret.
Thank you. It's great to be included in this book with so many great writers and artists and photographers. I find it just a privilege to be one of the people in the book. Before it went to publication, they asked me if I had a picture of the house, and I looked through I don't know how many boxes of pictures, and I could not find a picture of my parents' house, and that's what the story is about. But about 2 months ago, my sister dug through her pictures, and she found a picture of the house that I'm going to read to you about, and I'll pass this around. I'm also going to pass around this bag because the name of my piece is Chips in a Baggie, More Precious Than Gold. And these are pieces of siding from my parents' house that they tore down. And also, if you kind of go through there, there's a few pieces of blue tile that was in my parents' kitchen. Chips in a baggie, more precious than gold. You think this is a little Ziploc baggie of grimy stuff. Well, you're both right and wrong. Each piece I found while gardening brought a smile along with a twinge of heartbreak that took me back to the past. The small gray chips would never make up a whole shingle, and the bits of aqua ceramic would never make up a 3x5 tile. But these pieces are from 694 Rondo, which used to stand on this lot. I was born and raised in that stately white house with rooms of love, surrounded by well-manicured flower gardens. In this house, my first child laid his head. Urban renewal, a government plan to refurbish the inner city, put our 70-year-old house on the chopping block. In 1972, my childhood home was smashed into pieces and trucked away to an unknown dump site. In a matter of a few hours, the house, with the prized improvements my parents had made, was gone. The cherished white carpet, the one my mother protected to the extent of asking firemen to remove their boots before coming in to check on a small fire, became fibers in the rubble. The blue aqua kitchen tile that Mama scrubbed till the shine blinded us was smashed. The shingles my father so painstakingly painted 2 summers prior had disappeared. The driver of the dump truck hauled away splintered wood, twisted pipes, and the old green tile from the basement floor. Was he aware of his precious load? By afternoon of that fateful day, nothing was left but a city lot rutted with tractor tracks. As I walked across the space, I noticed an eerie quietness. No more flower gardens displaying the white phlox blossoms, purple delphiniums, or misty baby's breath. The spacious lawn lined with a half-dozen bridal wreath bushes were no longer there. The vegetable garden with Daddy's sweet tomatoes and tender green beans no longer existed. They had flattened the long, skinny driveway that I, as a new driver, found almost impossible to back out of without running up on the terrace. Seeing this devastation, I imagined that this is how a person must feel whose life has been changed by a horrific natural disaster. Every trace of the place that had vanished. Its recovery was impossible. Often the inspirational pot of gold can be found at the end of a rainbow. That miraculous pot was discovered When it was announced, the Housing and Redevelopment Authority was not going to build a planned apartment complex. The lots where the previous homes once stood were going to be replatted and sold. Our family had outgrown the neat little bungalow that we were thinking about building another home. This opportunity was ripe for the taking. We invested and built, and 36 years later, I still live at 694, on the land where I was born and grew up. It seems natural to be there. This is home. Over the years, I have let go of the physical attributes of my parents' destroyed house, and now I focus on the plethora of memories, the holidays filled with good foods, gifts, and friendly visitors, the summer vacations spent on the front porch, and the winter storms that did not penetrate the safety of our home. 5 years after my parents' house was demolished, the new 694 was built. It's low and modern, with no front porch or leaded glass windows, no ceramic tile in the kitchen or bathroom, and no built-in oak buffets in the dining room. But our home, like my parents' home, is filled with fantastic memories and love. Each of those pieces that went by, when I garden and dig deep, I find these. And you have to realize that siding is asbestos. I'm living on a toxic waste dump. Because at that time, 40 years ago, when they were clearing properties, they would dig a hole, smash the house, and put it in. When we dug our foundation, we found bigger pieces of the house. And one curious piece was the window that was in the hallway, the window casing. And in that window casing, stuck down, edged in between the two pieces of wood, was the card that the paper boy would give to my parents and they would stamp it that they had paid for the newspaper, and that card was still stuck in that paper. But my next story is going to be about the waste dump and what we in the neighborhood live with because they didn't properly remove the houses. Thank you.